My dears, have you ever heard of a man who left his wife just because he thought she couldn't have children? Today, we're going to hear the story of Marina, a strong woman who was tossed aside like she was nothing. But fate had other plans. Years later, that same man saw Marina again. And she had two beautiful little girls with her. What do you think happened? Could the twins be his daughters? That house behind me, that's his. So yes, he's a millionaire. Get your hearts ready and stay with me until the end, because this story has a twist you won't believe.
Marina Carter's life was a reflection of her classroom, organized, precise, and impeccably equitable. In Chicago, where the frigid winds off Lake Michigan lashed the skyscrapers, she had cultivated an empire of knowledge and esteem within the university's confines. Her civil law courses were highly sought after, her voice a beacon of lucidity amidst the obfuscation of jurisprudence. But, like most mirrors, Marina's life also had its fissures, imperceptible to the naked eye yet profound enough to distort the reflected reality. Married to Gabriel Sanders for 5 years, Marina found herself at the epicenter of a silent storm. Gabriel, a corporate attorney with ambition etched into every fiber of his being, was a man of possessions and obsessions. One of these obsessions, the most latent and painful, was to perpetuate his legacy through an heir. The mansion in the Winnetka suburbs, the luxury cars, the exotic travels, all seemed to converge on a single purpose: the arrival of a child. At first, the difficulty in conceiving was met with the strained patience of someone dealing with a temporary setback. But as the months wore on, Gabriel's patience evaporated, giving way to a calculated coldness. He observed her, no longer with the love of their early years, but with the distrust of an investor facing an unproductive asset. Marina felt the weight of this gaze, the silent accusation hanging in the air like a toxic miasma. The dramatic shift occurred on a winter's night, following yet another silent dinner. Gabriel, with the chilling composure of a judge delivering a sentence, declared that he needed someone who could provide him with an heir. The fault, the infertility, was hers, he decreed, without so much as considering the possibility that the issue might lie with him. His refusal to undergo medical testing was, in itself, a veiled admission of his arrogance and fear. The abandonment was brutal, the departure utterly without remorse. Marina found herself alone, stripped not only of her husband, but also of her dignity and self-esteem. The house, once a home, became a prison of agonizing memories. The mirror of her life lay shattered, reflecting fragments of a past she could no longer recognize. It was then that Marina made a decision that would alter the trajectory of her life. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, she resolved to investigate her own health thoroughly. The test results came as a profound shock: she was perfectly fertile. The revelation was a bitter one, yet simultaneously liberating. Gabriel had lied, had discarded her as a defective object without even affording her the benefit of the doubt. With the support of her sister Claire, a loyal friend and confidant, Marina found the strength to begin anew. She reclaimed her maiden name, Carter, as an act of defiance and self-affirmation. She moved to a smaller apartment, but one filled with light and hope in a vibrant and welcoming neighborhood. It was amidst this reconstruction that Dr. Lucas Mitchell, a specialist in reproductive law, entered her life. Lucas was not merely a physician, but also an ally, a confidant, a friend. He listened to her, understood her, and emboldened her to pursue her dreams of motherhood. Claire and Lucas wholeheartedly supported the decision to pursue artificial insemination. Marina knew it wouldn't be easy, that she would face prejudice and judgment, but she was determined to fight for her happiness. The twin pregnancy, Sophie and Lauren, was an unexpected blessing, a ray of sunshine amidst the darkness. As Marina prepared for motherhood, Gabriel pursued his own path. He married a federal judge, a powerful and ambitious woman, hoping to finally have the heir he so desired. But fate, like a shrewd screenwriter, had a cruel twist in store for him. He was the one who was infertile. The marriage, built on the shifting sands of ambition and deceit, quickly crumbled. Motherhood transformed Marina in ways she could never have conceived. The sleepless nights, the diapers, the incessant crying, all of it, paradoxically, imbued her with a profound and inexplicable joy. Sophie and Lauren were her universe, her raison d'etre. She dedicated herself entirely to them, balancing her academic pursuits with the responsibilities of being a single mother. The absence of a father figure was a palpable weight. Marina endeavored to bridge the gap, but she knew it wasn't quite enough. Lucas, with his inherent sensitivity and generosity, became a haven for the girls. He adored them, treating them as if they were his own daughters while never attempting to supplant Gabriel. His presence was a veritable balm for Marina's soul, a testament to the existence of true love, the kind that imposes no preconditions. Years had passed. Sophie and Lauren had grown up, becoming intelligent, inquisitive girls brimming with life. Marina took pride in every accomplishment, every smile, every embrace. She had rebuilt her life, overcome the pain of abandonment, and found happiness in unexpected places. Her career as a university professor flourished, her articles were published in prestigious journals, her voice was heard and respected in the legal world. It was at a law convention in New York that fate played yet another trick. Marina, accompanied by Sophie and Lauren, walked through the hotel lobby where the event was being held. Gabriel was there, visibly aged and dejected. His eyes widened upon seeing the girls. They were the spitting image of him, irrefutable proof of a past he had tried to erase. Gabriel's approach was hesitant, cautious. He attempted to strike up a conversation, complimented the girls, and inquired about their lives. Marina responded with politeness, but with the chill of someone guarding against an imminent threat. She knew he had no right to claim anything, but she feared he might disrupt the peace she had fought so hard to achieve. In the end, consider how the irony of fate reveals itself when we least expect it. Gabriel, in desperation, dared to ask if the girls were his daughters. The question hung in the air like a bomb about to detonate. Marina took a deep breath, mustered all her strength, and replied in a steady, composed voice, "No, Gabriel. Sophie and Lauren are my daughters. They were conceived through artificial insemination with an anonymous donor. All legal documentation is in order." The truth struck Gabriel like a punch to the gut. He had lost everything, the family he so desperately craved, the respect of his peers, his own dignity. The irony was brutal. He who so cherished lineage and the perpetuation of his name had been prevented from having children by his own infertility. Consider now the depth of the wound he himself had inflicted. The scene was brief, but devastating. Gabriel turned away, staggering, with a vacant stare and his soul shattered. Marina watched him leave, without pity but also without rancor. She had won, not through vengeance, but through resilience and self-respect. Imagine, therefore, the crushing weight of truth descending upon him. That moment irrevocably sealed Gabriel's fate, a destiny of solitude and profound regret. He would be compelled to live with the stark certainty that his own choices had inexorably led him to his downfall. The relentless pursuit of an heir had blinded him to life's genuine essence, love, compassion, and the innate capacity for human connection. Now, let us contemplate the intricate tapestry of forgiveness and redemption, crucial elements that, albeit conspicuously absent in the immediate confrontation, nonetheless permeate Gabriel's subsequent trajectory. That Congress was not the definitive epilogue, but rather a pivotal inflection point, a moment of agonizing clarity that propelled him to confront the specters that relentlessly haunted him. He found himself stripped bare of the arrogance that had previously defined him, confronted with the sheer magnitude of the consequences stemming from his decisions. Instead of succumbing to the abyss of self-pity, Gabriel trod a difficult and circuitous path toward redemption. It wasn't about seeking Marina's forgiveness, something he might never achieve, but rather about finding inner peace through the expiation of his errors. The journey began with profound introspection and honest analysis of his values and priorities. He recognized that his obsession with an heir had blinded him to the true meaning of fatherhood, to the beauty of human connection. In light of this, Gabriel channeled his energy and resources into philanthropic endeavors. He didn't merely write checks, he became actively involved, dedicating time and effort to projects that benefited underprivileged children, families in vulnerable situations, and women who were victims of domestic violence. He found purpose in serving others, in repairing, however minimally, the damage he had wrought. Furthermore, it is crucial to note that this transformation was not without its challenges. Gabriel faced the skepticism of many, the distrust of those who knew him only as the cold and ambitious lawyer. He had to prove through his actions that his change was genuine, that his quest for redemption was sincere. In any case, time has served to smooth the rough edges and dispel the doubts. Gradually, Gabriel won the trust of those around him and the respect of those who observed him. His dedication to charity became his new identity, a beacon of hope in a world plagued by inequality and injustice. Conversely, this journey did not erase the past. Gabriel carried the weight of guilt, the constant reminder of his misjudgments. However, rather than allowing himself to be paralyzed by remorse, he transmuted that pain into fuel for his transformation. With each act of kindness, each gesture of generosity, he felt a little lighter, a little closer to redemption. It is paramount to understand that redemption is not a destination, but rather a continuous journey. Gabriel knew he could never erase the past, but he could certainly shape the future. His dedication to charity was a pledge that he would strive to be a better person, to leave behind a legacy of love and compassion. In this vein, Gabriel discovered a way to honor the memory of his thwarted dreams of fatherhood. By dedicating himself to children in need of support and guidance, he became a father to many, a mentor to those who lacked hope. His journey of redemption served as testament that even after the gravest errors, one can still find a path toward the light, a purpose in life. Ultimately, it is pertinent to emphasize that Gabriel's redemption was not an absolution of his errors, but rather a testament to his capacity for learning and personal evolution. He was not seeking Marina's forgiveness, but rather inner peace. And in dedicating himself to the service of others, he attained that peace, transmuting his pain into hope, his guilt into compassion. Now, let us contemplate the trajectory of Lucas Mitchell, the doctor who became a pillar of support in the lives of Marina and the twins. Far from being merely a supporting figure, Lucas epitomized chosen fatherhood, a love that transcends blood ties and manifests itself in dedication, care, and unwavering presence. His story, interwoven with Marina's, reveals profound nuances about the modern family and the myriad paths to building a home. In stark contrast to Gabriel's obsession with a biological heir, Lucas embraced fatherhood as an act of unconditional love. He did not seek to perpetuate his genetic legacy, but rather to contribute to the growth and well-being of Sophie and Lauren. His presence in the girls' lives was steadfast from their early years, when he would help them with their homework and take them for outings in the park, to their adolescence, when he would listen to them attentively and advise them on life's challenges. Furthermore, it is important to emphasize that Lucas never attempted to supplant the paternal figure. He understood the significance of Marina's history and respected the memory of the anonymous donor who had made the twins' existence possible. His stance was one of complementation, of offering a positive and loving male role model without ever encroaching on the space that was not his. On the other hand, it is crucial to consider that Lucas's relationship with Sophie and Lauren was not without its challenges. The absence of biological ties occasionally generated insecurities and questions, both on the part of the girls and Lucas himself. However, through open and honest dialogue, they were able to overcome these difficulties and further strengthen their bonds. Conversely, Lucas's story compels us to contemplate the definition of family in contemporary society. The traditional conception of family, predicated on blood ties and heteronormative relationships, has increasingly proven limited and inadequate in representing the diversity of human experiences. Marina's family, comprised of a single mother, 2 daughters conceived through artificial insemination, and an affectionate stepfather, exemplifies how family can be constructed from conscious choices and genuine affection. Lucas Mitchell's story underscores that fatherhood transcends mere biological connection, instead residing in presence, care, and love. He chose to become a father to Sophie and Lauren, driven by the conviction that he could provide them with the support and guidance necessary to blossom into strong, independent women. His narrative serves as an ode to responsible fatherhood and the transformative power of unconditional love. It is worth emphasizing that Lucas's relationship with Marina was also pivotal to that family's success. He loved and respected her, admiring her strength and dedication to their daughters. His presence in her life was a safe haven, a constant source of support amidst the challenges of single motherhood. Together, they built a warm and loving home where Sophie and Lauren could grow up happy and secure. Lucas Mitchell's story compels us to reevaluate our preconceived notions and open our hearts to the diverse family structures that exist globally. Chosen fatherhood, unconditional love, and unwavering dedication are the cornerstones underpinning Marina's family, an inspirational exemplar of how happiness can be discovered in the most unexpected of places. Now, let us contemplate the intricate reconciliation between Marina and her past, a theme that extends beyond forgiving Gabriel and delves into the acceptance of her own journey. Life, much like a meandering river, rarely follows a straight and predictable course. Rather, it winds through valleys and mountains, shaping the landscape around it. Similarly, Marina's trajectory has been punctuated by unforeseen detours, grievous losses, and transformative reunions. Reconciliation isn't simply about forgetting or minimizing suffering. On the contrary, it entails integrating the scars of the past as an essential part of one's identity. Every tear shed, every obstacle overcome, contributed to forging the strong and resilient woman she has become. Just as a skilled artisan transforms a lump of raw clay into a work of art, Marina knew how to shape her life from adversity, transforming pain into strength, sadness into hope. It's important to consider the role of sisterhood in Marina's journey. Claire, her sister, was a safe haven amidst the storm, a sympathetic shoulder to cry on, and an encouraging voice to forge ahead. Female unity, complicity, and mutual support were fundamental in enabling Marina to rebuild her life and discover happiness. The relationship between the Carter sisters exemplifies the power of female solidarity, the ability to strengthen each other in the face of adversity. Reconciliation also entails acknowledging one's own limitations and imperfections. Marina, like any human being, has made mistakes, made misjudgments, and at times succumbed to insecurity and fear. However, she has learned from her errors, recognized her shortcomings, and forgiven herself for not being perfect. This self-acceptance was paramount for her to move forward with lightness and confidence. On the other hand, it's important to emphasize that reconciliation doesn't necessarily imply the reestablishment of broken ties. In Gabriel's case, Marina chose to maintain a safe distance, safeguarding her peace of mind and the security of her daughters. She understood that forgiveness doesn't demand cohabitation, that it's possible to move forward without reopening old wounds. Marina's decision demonstrates maturity and wisdom, the capacity to prioritize her own well-being and that of her family. Reconciliation with Lucas marked a fresh start, an opportunity to build a future founded on love, respect, and unwavering complicity. Their relationship was now underpinned by honesty, transparency, and mutual admiration. Lucas loved her for her authentic self, embracing both her strengths and imperfections, and steadfastly supported all her endeavors and aspirations. The bond between Marina and Lucas exemplifies the exquisite nature of mature love, the ability to commit to a relationship with unwavering confidence and security. Thus, Marina's journey of reconciliation serves as an inspiring testament to the potential for transforming pain into growth, sorrow into hope, and the past into invaluable lessons. She illustrates that life is a perpetual process of transformation, that adversity can fortify us, and that love reigns supreme as the universe's most potent force. Now, contemplate how this journey resonates with your own life. Consider how you might reconcile with your past, embrace your imperfections, and cultivate a future characterized by greater happiness and fulfillment. The education Marina provided her daughters was a cornerstone of this legacy. She encouraged them to question, to think critically, and to seek knowledge in all its forms. The civil law lessons, which Sophie and Lauren had attended since they were little, were not merely a form of entertainment, but rather an exercise in citizenship and opportunity to learn about their rights and responsibilities, to understand how society functions, and to become agents of change. It is important to emphasize that Marina did not shield them from reality. She exposed them to the world's problems such as social inequality, gender-based violence, and racism, but always with an optimistic and proactive outlook. She taught them not to accept injustice, to fight for a fairer and more equitable world, to be the change they wanted to see in the world. Marina's legacy extends beyond formal education. She also instilled in them values such as honesty, loyalty, compassion, and perseverance. She taught them to be true to themselves, to stand up for their beliefs, to be empathetic towards those most in need, and to never give up on their dreams. These values, which Sophie and Lauren have internalized, have become the compass that guides their lives. On the other hand, it's crucial to consider the example that Marina set for her daughters. As a single mother and accomplished professional, she demonstrated the feasibility of reconciling personal and professional life, proving that happiness and fulfillment can be attained without sacrificing one's aspirations. Her strength, determination, and resilience served as a source of inspiration for Sophie and Lauren, who learned to never succumb to adversity and to always believe in their potential. Marina's legacy extends far beyond her family. As a university professor and human rights advocate, she contributed to the formation of countless legal professionals who have become agents of change within their communities. Her work, her dedication, and her commitment to social justice served as an exemplar for her students, who learned the significance of leveraging knowledge for the common good. Thus, Marina's legacy is one of love, hope, and transformation. She, as a mother, a professional, and a citizen, has left an indelible mark on the world, inspiring people to be better, to strive for a more just and equitable world, and to never relinquish their dreams. Now, consider how you can build a similar legacy, what values you want to impart to future generations, and how you can contribute to a better world. In addition, it is worth highlighting that Marina's legacy is not static, but rather dynamic and constantly evolving. Sophie and Lauren, as they forge their own paths, will undoubtedly add new elements to this legacy, transmitting their own values and experiences to future generations. Marina's legacy, therefore, is a living legacy that perpetuates itself through time and continues to inspire people to make a difference in the world. As we contemplate the garden that flourished on the once barren terrain of Marina's life, we realize that resilience manifests not only in overcoming trials, but in the ability to extract beauty and meaning from the very process of healing. Her journey does not conclude with vengeance or triumph over adversity, but rather with the construction of a legacy of love, hope, and empowerment, a beacon that illuminates the paths of other women in search of their own voice and autonomy. More than a saga of individual triumph, Marina's story unveils the transformative power of unconditional love, the capacity to forge bonds that transcend the constraints of biology and are anchored in dedication, care, and mutual respect. Lucas's figure, like a beacon amidst the storm, embodies chosen fatherhood, the love that manifests in constant presence, unwavering support, and the celebration of individualities. In stark contrast, Gabriel's journey, characterized by obsession and regret, serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of an unrelenting pursuit of a legacy devoid of meaning. His redemption, albeit belated and incomplete, compels us to contemplate the significance of acknowledging our transgressions, redressing the harm inflicted, and seeking inner transformation as a path toward peace and reconciliation. As we revisit the narrative's central theme, resilience as the driving force behind transformation, we are invited to transcend mere contemplation of Marina's journey and internalize its very essence in our own lives. The true practice, the challenge that presents itself to each of us, lies in the ability to cultivate resilience in the face of adversity, to transform pain into learning, and to build a legacy of love and hope for future generations. Marina's story transcends a mere inspirational narrative, evolving into a veritable call to arms, an entreaty for each of us to become an instigator of change within our own sphere. May we draw inspiration from her fortitude, her valor, and her unwavering resolve to forge a more equitable, egalitarian, and compassionate future, a future where all women are afforded the opportunity to flourish and attain their utmost potential. May Marina's journey serve as a perpetual reminder that life is a continuous process of learning, growth, and transformation. May we allow ourselves to err, learn from our mistakes, and move forward with renewed hope. May we cultivate resilience, compassion, and unconditional love as the cornerstones of our lives. May we evolve into the best versions of ourselves and leave a legacy of kindness and generosity in the world. The true practice commences now, in every choice, every action, every gesture of love and compassion that we offer to the world.